Hello everybody and welcome back to Southeast by Midwest. I'm Cassie and today we are going to be doing a movie tag. Yeah, it's a little different, but it'll be okay. So if you want to know what questions are on this tag and what my answers are, just keep watching. Before we jump in to the different questions and my answers, I do want to mention that I'm doing this in collaboration with some of the people from the Geeks and Beauties group. I'll make sure to link the group and I'll try to link the different people's videos down below. If I don't get to everybody, I'm sorry, but I will at least try to put in their channels or their blogs if I don't have a direct link to their specific video or blog post. So I just wanted to put that out there, and now we will get started with these questions. I also want to mention that some of these could apply to different categories. However, I was trying to make mine a little more challenging because I'm extra like that. So some of these would fit in other categories, but because they were used somewhere else, they got put there. The only exception to the rule is that my favorite movie of all time, I felt like was a very similar category to movie I love. I kind of feel like they kind of are the same thing. So that one is actually fairly early in the thing, but I'm going to skip it. And the very last question is going to be movie I love / favorite movie of all time. I'm kind of combining those and making it my own. The movie I hate the most is Dumbo. I'm sorry. It scares me. The scene, like the tripping scene, is just, first off, it's a sad movie. And then it's creepy in the middle. And I just can't with that movie. I can't. Much to my husband's chagrin, the movie that I think is the most overrated is Goodfellas. It's a good movie. It's an okay movie. I just don't think it's all that in a bag of chips like everybody seems to think it is. The movie that I think is the most underrated is the new Assassin's Creed movie. I do feel like they could have done things different. However, I don't think it's as bad as what everybody kind of made it out to be, and that is coming from someone who is actually a big fan of the video game series. The movie I secretly love is The Craft. Whoo! All the things it gets wrong, buddy. All the things. But I actually secretly love that movie because I like a lot of the actors and actresses in the movie. So I secretly like it. My favorite action movie is again one that kind of could go any way, but I chose Star Wars. But getting off on a technicality, I chose the whole dang thing. I'm talking, I like the prequels. We did a line party for episode 3. We stood outside of a movie theater for hours, people. We stood outside of the movie theater. We were those people. And we did a big old party that night. I mean, it was a group of us. We had a blast. I like the originals. I like what's come out so far with the new ones. I reserve judgment on the last 2 until they come out. I liked Rogue One, and I like all of the stuff in between. I like Rebels, I like the Clone Wars, I like it all. My favorite drama movie is A Walk to Remember. I love that movie. I watch it all the time. It is one of my favorite ones to put on to go to sleep, along with a lot of other movies. But I really do like that movie. My favorite Western is, I'm not a big Western fan, so my favorite Western is Serenity. And it is a space Western, and I stand by that fact. My favorite horror movie? Scream. Love it. Now, that's not saying I don't like other horror movies. I was raised on a Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. I was raised on them all. Candyman. I mean, those were my childhood. But Scream is just that. It's a great movie, and it is that perfect nod to those other horror movies. Scary movie, and what I love is that Scream was originally intended to be what Scary Movie is. It was supposed to be kind of a make fun of horror movies type movie. But it was just so amazing. My favorite comedy, again, this is a category I am not a real big fan of. I'm not a comedy person. I love my dramas. I love my horrors. I love my romance. I love my drama romance. I'm not a huge fan of rom-coms. That being said, my favorite comedy is a rom-com. I'm just not a big fan. But my favorite comedy is actually a little bit kind of horror-ish. It's practical magic. I mean, it's not horror, but it is kind of, it's a little dark. My favorite Disney movie at the moment, because grew up on Disney, I can quote most of them to you. Our house literally is, it gets by on Disney and Harry Potter quotes. You ever seen those little signs floating around Facebook? Our house lives on music lyrics and such movie quotes. So my favorite Disney movie changes based on the season, based on a whim. Currently it's Zootopia. Love that flipping movie. Favorite science fiction, again, this is kind of a teeter-totter because, you know, Star Wars could technically be science fiction, but it is the Star Trek. The newer ones. I know if my Nene watches this, she's gonna have heart palpitations, because I know she likes the new ones, but I was raised on Next Generation. Data was her man. She loved her some Data. So the fact that it's not a Data movie, she'd be so upset. But I mean, I like the older movies. I like the originals with like Kirk and Spock, the original. I like the mid ones where it's like the Next Generation crew, but I like the newer ones little bit better. Favorite animated movie? I decided to go with a movie that is not Disney, and for some people out there this might actually be a shock, because I have actually talked to people who would argue with me that this is a Disney movie. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. And that's Anastasia, the Meg Ryan one. Love that movie. Love the music in it. It is a super cute movie, and it is not a Disney movie. Go to IMDb and check. My favorite superhero movie, and again, I could have went with something like Captain America Civil War, but I used Marvel somewhere else, and so that left, which is actually, this is one of my favorite superhero movies, and that is a Hellboy 2. I like the original Hellboy, but I like the second one a little bit better, and I just love Ron Perlman as Hellboy. I just love the whole kind of cast. Abraham is amazing, so that's my favorite superhero movie. My favorite musical is Moulin Rouge. Love it. Great movie, but Pink singing the Lady Marmalade song, being on that, kind of sealed it for me. My favorite documentary, I'm going to have to abstain from this one because I don't watch them. I don't watch documentaries, so I can't tell you a favorite of something I've never watched. I know. I'm uncultured. I'm sorry. My favorite bad movie is Beautiful Creatures. Everybody hates this movie. I don't understand why. I love it. Jeremy Irons is amazing. I mean, the kind of gimmicky southern accents can kind of be like, eh. Especially if you live in the South. I mean, it can be kind of eh. Especially because I live in South Carolina and this is supposed to be taking place in South Carolina. Although I can say that I do know some of those people, like those girls in that school. My mama said I shouldn't read any banned books. And to go along with that, I know some people like that. My childhood favorite movie is Lion King, and that is because I remember going to a sleep-in. It was this really big thing at, like, I don't remember, it was like a college, a business somewhere, and I went with someone else, I believe. Like, I was not, like, part of the group that went. I was kind of a tag-along thing. And while I was there, my nene went out and bought The Lion King for me, and so I remember coming home to her house, or her apartment, and she had a pull-out bed. She pulled it out. She had made it. It's like the middle of the day. She never did that, at least then. And she put it in, and I just remember, you know, taking a shower, getting in the bed, and just watching the movie until I just passed out. And I love it. It's one of my favorite memories. I love that movie. My favorite franchise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Except for the TV show right now, I'm a little mad at it. Why does Daisy get away with everything? I don't understand. I love the rest of the movies. The movies are all great. I'm just saying, taking a series like that, where you're doing like the Avengers and you're getting all of these big names, and let's face it, some big egos in there. You've got Robert Downey Jr., you got, you know, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, all of these big names in these movies, and getting them all to play together and to do these movies and to agree to do them for so long and to tell good stories while you're doing it is amazing. Kudos to Marvel and Disney. And then to get Sony to agree to let you do Spider-Man as well, Hey now. The best trilogy, this one was so hard, and not because I couldn't think of a favorite trilogy. Well, that was kind of the issue, but the issue is I couldn't think of any trilogies because nothing is really a trilogy anymore. It starts out as a trilogy, like Saw was originally a trilogy, Scream was kind of a trilogy, but then they all became these long series. Fast and the Furious, I'm looking at you, and they just keep going. So the only one that I could really think of, but I do love, is Lord of the Rings. I've seen Two Towers so many times, it's not even funny. My guilty pleasure, Twilight. Love it. I watch it at least once a month. I'm a little ashamed to admit that, but oh well. My favorite director, Wes Craven. Hands down. Love me some Wes Craven. Favorite actor, Leonardo DiCaprio. And it has been since before he was on Titanic, people. Before. I liked him back when he was on Growing Pains. What's Eating Gilbert Grape. All of those early movies. I was there. Been there from the beginning. Favorite actress? This one's a little more difficult because, I mean, there's some actresses where, like, I like one of their movies and they're great in it. But I would have to say, thinking about it, Kathy Bates is someone that I like her stuff kind of a lot. Like, she was great in Primary Colors. She was great in Titanic. She was great in Dolores Claiborne. I mean, there's just so many things that she's done that I absolutely love. But Kathy Bates is one that I just think everything that I have seen her in, I may not like the movie, but I like her acting. My favorite movie so far this year, now here's the issue with this. The issue with this is that we don't go to the actual movie theater that often. One, it's so far away, and two, it costs a lot of money. I'm basing this question off of video releases, not theatrical releases. So, my favorite movie so far this year is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Love it. Got the book. Love it. The screenplay book, not the actual Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them book. My worst movie so far this year, again, using video releases and not theatrical, and it's not a bad movie. It's just out of the ones I've seen, it's the worst, which is the category. And that is Arrival. Like I said, once you get to the end, the twist is great. It's a great twist. It's just getting there that is the issue. It's kind of, it takes a bit to get going. The movie I recently saw was Moana, and I love it. And so does Norbert the Bearded Dragon. He will get up on his rock and he will watch that movie like ain't nobody's business. He loves it. He loves the water. He loves the music. He loves everything about it. So my favorite movie of all time, and the movie I love the most, actually is a tie. The first one is The Princess and the Frog, and that is because I'm from Louisiana, and it just reminds me of home so much. Seeing like the swamp, the bayou, seeing New Orleans, even back, you know, it's supposed to take place back in the day, is great. I love it. The beignets, even though I can't eat them, you know, seeing the beignets, hearing them talk about the muffalettas, the gumbo, the jambalaya, and I'm just like, take me home, baby, take me home. So that's why I love that one. And the other one is Titanic. I saw that movie so many times in theaters. My mom bought me the cassette tape and then had to buy me it again because I watched it so much I tore it up. I had the DVD, I had the Blu-ray, I had the anniversary Blu-ray. I got them all. I love that movie. Okay, hopefully you found that video fun and informative. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Make sure to subscribe down below and hit that notification button so you don't miss a video I upload. Make sure to follow me via the social media links down in the description box, and tell me in the comments what your favorite movie is. And until next time, bye.